I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
Silly Jedi, silly Jedi.
Remember, the Force will be with you, always.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
Hello, what have we here?
Hello there.
At last! Where have you been?
Nice of you guys to drop by.
Ah, good. New acquisitions.
I don't know. I have a bad feeling about this.
All right, everybody, welcome to Star Wars Card Talk. I'm having some lighting issues today. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks for watching, and make sure you like and subscribe. We're on YouTube at Jedi Toy Masters. Yeah, this is it's crazy. I don't know. I'm having some visual issues. Hopefully I'm not having any audio issues, so that should be fine. It's just if you're watching, you might notice that it's very sunny and the image here is just like so bright, so blown out. I'm having a hard time adjusting the camera today. So anyway, but if you're listening, then you don't care about any of this stuff. If you're just listening, you're probably driving in your car or at the gym or something, and like, you don't care that I'm drenched in sunlight right now, like the Scarlet Witch vision that she had, spoiler alert, or like the Dark Phoenix, where she's drenched in sunlight. That's kind of how I feel today. I'm like drenched in sunlight here in my car. But again, if you're listening, it doesn't matter. You don't really care, but you do care because you're listening, and I appreciate that. So if you could please leave a nice review over on iTunes, and thanks for if you just happen to catch this episode on doing a search, a random search on your podcast app, I hope that you can subscribe and check out some of the previous episodes and all that stuff. So I appreciate it. I thank you. This is my way of this is Star Wars therapy for me, and I hope it's a little bit of a little Star Wars therapy for you as well. So this week, I gotta mention, I'm gonna talk about some theories, some reactions, and some thoughts on the upcoming animated show by your beloved Star Wars creator Dave Filoni and the rest of the amazing team over at the animation studio of Lucasfilm, and that is The Bad Batch. It is the sequel. I guess we can say it. It's the sequel series. It's basically the sequel to the Clone Wars series, and it's coming out May the 4th. How beautiful is that? And I think I called it. I predicted that we would get Bad Batch in the spring, and if not in the spring, it would definitely be at some point, later on in the summer. But, I was really kind of hoping for a spring, because I think the formula right now that Disney and Lucasfilm have is basically we can't let too much time pass without there being some kind of Star Wars consumable. And I think Marvel, it's the same thing with Marvel. You have WandaVision that's wrapping up, and then pretty soon you're going to get Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And then soon after that, you'll probably get finally the release of Black Widow in theaters, because they've been holding off on that. And then after that, we're gonna get the Doctor Who sequel with the Multiverse of Madness. And then I think after that is Spider-Man 3. And then after that, we got the Thor 3, Thor. No, the next Thor. Is it 3? I don't even know. Who can tell? Who knows these days? But anyway, I feel like Lucasfilm is doing the same thing. We just wrapped up The Mandalorian Season 2, and now here we go. We started the fall into winter with The Mandalorian, and now we're going to spring forward with The Bad Batch. And probably the summer will probably be more like announcements and that kind of stuff, since we're not getting Star Wars Celebrations until I don't know when. it's nice that at least during the summer, they'll do some announcements. They'll do something. Although they're going to have to also do some PR repairing over the summer, because it's just been a little bit of a whirlwind of a lot of negativity directed at Lucasfilm and a lot of the people at Lucasfilm. And I'm not going to get into that here. I already had another episode where I talked about the whole cancel culture, Gina Carano thing, and my thoughts on that. But, you can go listen to that one or watch that one. But the good thing is that, all hope is not lost. And at least we're getting, we are getting Star Wars content down in the pipeline. It's coming. We have the Bad Batch. We know that Obi-Wan is in production. We know that Andor, the Cassian Andor series, it's in production, and it's going to be more than one season. Obi-Wan, more than likely, will be one season. Will be kind of like a mini-series type of thing. And then we'll get a Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett, Mandalorian Season 3. And now there's even rumors now that, I don't know if it's been confirmed, but as far as the New Republic Commandos series, I guess originally one of the main protagonists of that show was going to be the character of Cara Dune, and I guess that has been canceled. And now the rumor is that they're going to bring in Hera Syndulla from Star Wars Rebels into that role that was going to be for Cara Dune. It's now going to be Hera, so a live-action Hera, which honestly is kind of exciting because that's another Star Wars Rebels character that we'll see in live-action form. And Hera Syndulla has a history with the Rebels. With the Rebellion. she kind of was retconned into being one of the kind of like founders, or not founders, but one of the, leading persons that, helped with the creation and the sustaining of the rebellion. And then she fought in the Battle of Endor, and she fought in Rogue One, the battle over Scarif. And apparently she was in the battle of at the end of Rise of the Old Skywalker, that old movie that nobody really talks about anymore. So she's around, and she has a son, so that'll be an interesting angle to explore. That maybe her son that she had with Kanan Jarrus, who was a Jedi. Maybe he's Force sensitive. Who knows? So that's an interesting angle, and I think it's it's kind of like I think Disney, Lucasfilm kind of stepped into a little bit of fortune with that one. They kind of saved themselves with that one, with that move. They still have a lot of repairing to do as far as the whole thing with Gina Carano, and who knows what else is going to happen. But that's not here nor there. The Bad Batch. The Bad Batch is kind of where we are right now, and I'm excited. Well, I'll tell you one thing. My sons are uberly excited because one of my boys has been asking me, when is the Bad Batch coming? When is the Bad Batch coming? And, now, finally it's like, okay, May the 4th, that's going to be our thing. We're going to watch the Bad Batch, and then that, who knows how many episodes it'll be. Hopefully it's like a full season, because it's an animated show. Hopefully it's like a full season of episodes, hopefully it's like, I don't know, 12, 13 episodes, maybe more. That would be awesome. And what to expect? What to expect from the Bad Batch? I think, one thing that's interesting is it's a sequel. It's a direct sequel to the Clone Wars. And that's just interesting because the way the Clone Wars ended, the Clone Wars basically ended right into, it went right into episode 3. It overlapped with episode 3. So this is right after that, or maybe not right after, but maybe some time after. Maybe we'll get a prologue you know, that kind of tells the story a little bit. I mean, we'll obviously get some kind of Clone Wars, Star Wars style prologue. Maybe not with a crawl, but maybe, you know, the voiceover prologue kind of saying where we are, what's happened, you know, Empire, Galactic Empire has been formed, Emperor Palpatine is, you know, I mean, at what point does he name himself Emperor? You know, I mean, he was the Chancellor of the Republic, and then he says we're going to reorganize this into the First Galactic Empire. But now, just because he's coined it as a Galactic Empire, does everybody automatically start calling him Emperor? Like, was there maybe at some point where he officially said, I am now the Emperor? Or maybe he had some bureaucrats kind of like forcefully get a lot of the systems in the Senate to kind of agree on that. So, you know, that's interesting. That's an interesting little story there. That might be something in the background. You know, I think it would be cool to see Palpatine, you know, kind of in the background, and maybe he at some point he has enough of this Bad Batch team. Maybe they've gone rogue or whatever. Like, it's going to be interesting. I don't know what to expect. I honestly don't know where these guys fall. They're kind of like anti-heroes, but they're heroes. But they're like they're kind of like, I don't know. It's interesting because when we met them in the season 7 of the Clone Wars, they were just kind of like this team of guys that apparently they were genetically altered in a way, and maybe they don't have the chip. So that's an interesting angle. Like, maybe they don't have the chip. Maybe they man, why is it so sunny in this car? This is crazy. We're just gonna have to deal with this J.J. Abrams lens flare here. I don't know what to expect from this story. It's kind of interesting because are they working with this new Galactic Empire? You know, are they under the impression that they're still serving the Republic? You know, do they have chips? Were they created without chips in their head? It's going to be interesting. We know that Fennec is going to be in the show. We saw her in the trailer, in the teaser. That's kind of interesting. Like, are we going to see more of like the underworld? Is that how these guys are going to kind of realize that they need to go on their own and not be part of the Republic that now has turned into this empire? It's really interesting. Is Echo going to be with them? Is he still with them? So, you know, it's kind of interesting. There's been rumors based on the toys, based on the Black Series toys, and when the way that the boxes line up when you see the little side art. Somebody pointed out that one of the sides on there kind of shows it could be the next figure in the line could be Echo. So it's going to be interesting to see if he's part of it. You don't really see him in the teaser, but then again, you know, you never know. The teaser could just be showing us little snippets just from the first episode, and, you know, the rest of the show could open up and explore so many other directions that this can go in. But I'm excited because, you know what? This is something that is definitely Star Wars, and this is something that is, even though you know, the season 7 was created under the Disney flag, I feel like Clone Wars, and now by extension this Bad Batch show, this is still George Lucasfilm, especially with Dave Filoni at the helm. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the idea that this does not have to, it's not obligated at all to connect to the sequel trilogy. Obviously, it's so far removed in the past. This can connect with the original trilogy. This can even connect with The Mandalorian. Obviously, you have the character of Fennec in it. So it's interesting. I like it. I like it. I mean, who knows? We might even see Saw Gerrera in this. You know? We saw him in Star Wars Rebels. We can see him here. If we see Fennec, why not Saw Gerrera? Give Saw a little bit more screen time. You know, I feel like we just got to know Saw Gerrera, and then he was gone. We met him a little bit in the Clone Wars series when he was younger. We saw him a little bit in Star Wars Rebels, and then we saw him in Rogue One. But like Rogue One was weird because, because of the way that movie was re-edited and reshot. Like I feel like his character was completely changed in that movie. So that would be cool to see Saw Gerrera. What else? Will you see any Jedi in there? Will there be any Jedi? Maybe they're still hunting down the Jedi, obviously. So, will we see Vader? Will we see Inquisitors? Or is it just still Vader kind of like figuring out how to hunt down the remaining Jedi with whatever clone troopers he has? Are we going to see the eventual retirement of the clone troopers and the transition into stormtroopers? That's going to be really interesting. Like there's so much really cool stuff to explore that for those that grew up on the Clone Wars animated show, this is like, man, this is like icing on the cake, man. This is like a bowl of candy. So I'm pumped. I'll be the first to admit the Clone Wars animated show when it first aired really wasn't, I felt like it wasn't for me. But because I didn't give it a chance, and I was also kind of like busy with life, but now revisiting it, I really got into it, and I've gotten more into it because my older son especially, he's 8. He's really gotten into it. Like anytime he wants to watch anything Star Wars, he'll pop on a random episode of Clone Wars. And it's getting to the point where he's watched so many random episodes of Clone Wars, he can still make sense of the timeline. Like he knows where everything is taking place. Like he's starting to really kind of like catalog them in his brain, which is kind of interesting. So I'm pumped. I'm super pumped. Are you excited about the Bad Batch? Do you even know what the Bad Batch is? I mean, I'll admit there's probably fans out there, Star Wars fans, that it doesn't make them any less of a Star Wars fan, but they probably have no idea what the Bad Batch is. They probably are like, oh, I guess it's another cartoon. Maybe I'll let my kid watch it. Or if they're like a younger fan, they're probably like, this is not really for me. I'm more about the movies and maybe the novels and maybe the graphic novels or whatever. Give it a chance, guys and girls. Give it a chance because I think it looks really cool. I mean, it looks like a cross between like the Expendables and the A-Team. And, like there's a little bit of like, even like the Predator. Remember Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger and that whole team? How you had the smart guy with the glasses and the big dude with the big guns and all this stuff. Like it has all those ingredients of like classic. I think this is like Star Wars in a classic 80s, action genre, which I think is so cool. We've already seen Star Wars, the war movie. We've seen Star Wars noir. We've seen Star Wars crime drama. We've seen Star Wars slapstick comedy. We've seen Star Wars in so many different genres, like the Flash Gordon serial. We've seen Star Wars as all these things. And I think that's the point. Like George Lucas really wanted to, create this world that can tap into so many different things. So this is like, I think, a really cool thing to tap into. The classic 80s, as a kid of the 80s who probably shouldn't have, but yet watched a lot of 80s action movies that were probably, my version eyes were probably too young and too pure to have been watching such violence, but I got to watch a lot of 80s action as a kid, and man, I can't wait. So what do you think about the Bad Batch? Are you excited? Let me know in the comments below if you're watching this on YouTube. Again, I apologize for this. It's a beautiful sunny day today. And of course, you can see the J.J. Abrams lens flare. If you're listening to us, please thank you. And please make sure you write a good review and check out some of our other episodes. I keep saying like there's a team here. It's just me. It's just me doing this. Check me out over at Instagram at Jedi Toy Masters. That's our main account. That's where we are, where I am and my boys. We're kind of, post things, fun things. Last week I did a really cool interview with Retro Rebels 77, Chris at Retro Rebels 77. So please check out my page, and there's a post on there where you can see it. I think you can link to it, I believe. If not, I'll try to get a link to it. I don't know if it's still, it's definitely up on his channel. So I'll link him below in the show notes, and in watching this, I'll link his account below. We had a great, like almost 2-hour talk about Star Wars and get to know a little bit about me and him. And it was really fun. So please check it out. It was on Instagram Live, but it's saved on there on the IGTV. So I'll link it below. And then check out some of our other videos. We've done some toy unboxings. By the time this comes out, we have a video where we did a little unboxing for G.I. Joe. I know it's not Star Wars related, but G.I. Joe really was my first love. And so I want to show it some love. And my boys are starting to really get into G.I. Joe, which is kind of cool that my boys are into the things that I was into as a kid, G.I. Joe and Star Wars and superheroes. So check that out. We got a really cool unboxing on there as well. And that's it for now, guys. So until next time, remember,
The Force will be with you, always.